My parents took out a third mortgage to fund my sister's failing business, her little golden venture. Now they want me to drop out of college and bail them out of their debts. Hi, everyone. It's late at night right now, so forgive me if I get too emotional, but I'm in a terrible situation. I'm 19, and I have an older sister who's 23. She's the golden child. Honestly, I've always suspected my parents didn't even want me. They've made it clear my whole life that I'm unwanted and unnecessary. I was never important to them. They discouraged me from doing anything that might outshine my sister. Meanwhile, my sister is just an average girl. Frankly, she's no better than me at anything. But she's the one they've always supported and praised. I've always outdone her. In school, in sports, in pretty much everything. I think part of it's because I'm fiercely competitive. I wanted the love and attention they showered on her without question, so I tried to be better than her at everything. I just hoped they'd start loving me too. But the harder I tried, the more they despised me, calling me an attention seeker. By the time I got to high school, I realized no matter what I did, they'd never love me more than her. So I stopped trying to impress them. That didn't mean I stopped outshining her. I kept doing well in school, playing sports, and so on, but now it was for my future, not for them. I'd say my sister was jealous of me too. She loved the attention from our parents, but it annoyed her that only they thought she was better. Everyone else could see who was really more successful. I tried to befriend her, but she was too self-absorbed to show me even a shred of kindness. So when it came time to apply to college, I didn't have a normal relationship with anyone in my family. It felt like we were all happy to get rid of each other. I started college 2 years ago, majoring in business because I've always dreamed of being an entrepreneur. I don't have to pay full tuition since I have a scholarship that covers 60% of it. The rest is covered by my best friend's dad. He knows about my situation and understands my parents wouldn't give me a dime if it meant I might outdo my sister. So he stepped in to cover my share, sparing me from asking them for help or taking out student loans. It's not a huge amount for him since his family is well off, unlike mine, so it's no burden for them. I'm endlessly grateful to him. I plan to pay him back when I can, but for now, he's funding my education just like he does for his daughter. I'm so lucky to have met such kind, generous people. My parents think I'm going to school for free. I told them my scholarship covers 100% of the costs, and they were thrilled. Not having to spend a cent on me meant they could keep spoiling their eldest daughter. Besides school, I also work part-time as a tutor to cover other expenses. I manage. I live modestly, but since the college provides housing and meals, I live on campus. It's not a huge financial strain. My family's always been unstable. 4 years ago, my parents pawned all their jewelry and my granddad's house to prop up their textile business. It helped a little, but they still didn't achieve the success they wanted. They won't let me give advice or get involved in running the business, so I can't help them. I used to worry about their debts until I learned I'm not a co-signer, so I won't inherit them. Since they've rejected my help anyway, I'm not about to waste my life on people who don't respect me or my business knowledge. But yesterday, my parents called me. They said my sister's in trouble, and so are they. Turns out, almost a year ago, they took out a mortgage on the house they live in to open a bakery for her. She has no education, no business skills, and she can't even bake properly. I have no idea why they thought this was a good plan. They never told me about the loan, and I didn't care enough to ask where the money for her business came from, so I only found out now. Now they're demanding I come home, take over the bookkeeping, and help run the business since my sister had to shut it down due to losses. They want me to start working full-time to support the family and dig them out of debt. On top of that, they expect me to join their family business. And get this, they want me to drop out of college to do it. They said it like it's the most normal request in the world. When I asked why I'd abandon my education for them, they said I owe it to them because I'm their daughter. They argued it's impossible to study, run a business, and work at the same time, so obviously I should drop out. Honestly, I was stunned. It's like they don't realize they're asking me to sacrifice my future because of their stupidity and terrible money management. I lost it when my dad said my sister needs help, and if I don't want to lose the house, I need to come back immediately and work. His arrogance infuriated me. I told him I don't owe them anything, that I don't care about their problems. They never treated me like family, always made me feel lesser, and now that they need help, they're suddenly playing the happy family card. When my dad countered that even if I don't care about them, I should at least come back for the house I lived in for 20 years, I told him that place was never a home to me. Then I hung up and blocked them everywhere. I'd kept in touch with them, hoping one day they'd change. But now it's crystal clear that'll never happen. I'm done waiting for them to become decent parents. I've been in an awful mood all day. I didn't go to classes, didn't talk to anyone because I was, and still am, overwhelmed by too many emotions at once. I'm furious that my parents didn't just hope, but were absolutely certain I'd sacrifice my future and dreams just because my sister messed up. Yet, somehow, I also feel this weird guilt for turning my back on them. I know I could help in theory, but I don't get where this guilt is coming from or what to do with it. It's been a full day and I thought time would make it easier, but I still feel terrible. The last time I saw my family was last Christmas. Things were calm enough. No one picked on me, and my sister was relatively polite. I wouldn't say I enjoyed being around them, but at least it wasn't a disaster. Now, though, I'm starting to think it was all an act. They must have known they'd need my help eventually. The whole thing makes me sick. I haven't even talked about it with anyone, not even my best friend. I guess the reason I'm writing this is that I desperately need support to feel sure I didn't do something wrong. I really need to hear that I'm not obligated to save a family that's treated me like an outsider my whole life. Update 1. Hi, everyone. I want to thank everyone who supported me and convinced me I'm not selfish. I've been thinking about it a lot, and I still don't get why my parents thought I'd agree to their terms after everything they've put me through. I can't believe I missed a whole day of classes over this mess. That's probably what I regret most right now. It's been 3 days and I haven't heard a peep from them. I don't know what they're up to, and honestly, I don't care, as long as they leave me alone. I've got enough on my plate without their problems piling on. I finally told my best friend everything, and she was so kind. She immediately offered to help. I told her I'd handle it myself and didn't need anything from her except emotional support and reassurance that things will be okay. Truthfully, after that call with my parents, my mental state just collapsed. I'm not even worried about my family, I'm worried about myself. Once I finish college, I won't have anywhere to go back to. Sure, my friends wouldn't leave me stranded, but I don't want to depend on other people's kindness forever. I need to work twice as hard to graduate with top grades and land a well-paying job right away. I can't afford to slack off. Anxiety about the future is eating me alive, and I can't turn it off, even knowing I can't control everything. All I can do is my best, but I just feel sorry for myself for having such a rotten family. Update 2. My family showed up at my college and I was floored by their nerve. After everything they've done, they had the gall to come here. They said they wanted to take me out to lunch to discuss some things. We were in the lobby, and I didn't want to make a scene in front of my friends, so I agreed to go just to get them off my back. But I didn't trust them, so I insisted on picking the place myself. I took them to a diner I go to when I don't feel like eating in the cafeteria. The owners know me well, so I felt safe. If my family tried anything shady, I'd have backup. I even saw the owner behind the counter, which calmed me down, and I waved to let him know I was there. When we sat down, they offered to order food for me, but I refused. I didn't want to eat with them, I'd rather go hungry. They kept pushing, so I got a lemonade but nothing else. They ordered full meals for themselves, and while we waited, they finally got to the point. They started talking about their financial crisis, stuff I already knew. Once again, they tried to convince me to reconsider, and once again, I had to repeat that I'm not dropping out of college to help them pay off their loans. They didn't ask my opinion when they borrowed the money, so it's not my responsibility. My sister got heated and accused me of refusing to help because I'm jealous of her. It was almost laughable. She has literally nothing I could be jealous of. She's the one who's always been insecure about me, not the other way around. By the way, some of you said I sounded bitter in my first post. Yeah, I am bitter and hurt. She's always been put above me, even when she's done nothing to earn it, while I've been shoved aside because of her. Anyone in my shoes would feel the same. My mom finally shut my sister up and started the classic emotional blackmail. They said I only got into college because of them. They raised me and gave me everything I needed to get here. That's the bare minimum they were supposed to do for a kid they chose to have, and more importantly, it's required by law. So they shouldn't act like it's some grand favor. I told them I'm not doing anything for them, that it's my final decision, and suggested they go home and leave me alone. I warned them that if they show up at college again, I'll call security or the police. My dad lost it. I thought he was about to yell at me right there in the diner, but my mom stopped him. She shot me a nasty, disgusted look and said they're ashamed of me, that I'm a disappointment. Then they just got up and left without even waiting for their food. Of course, they didn't pay for it either. When I asked my sister what to do about the bill, she turned around and said I could cover it myself since I picked the place, then walked off with a smug grin. I was shattered. I'd held it together for days, trying not to show how I felt, but I couldn't take it anymore. I hate admitting it, but my mom's words hit hard. They called me a disappointment just for refusing to let them walk all over me again. I tried to hold it in, but as soon as they left, I broke down right there in the diner, not quiet tears, but a full-on meltdown. It was humiliating, but I couldn't stop. I sobbed until I could barely breathe, hiccuping through it. Within seconds, everyone was staring at me. I tried to get up and leave, but then the diner owner's wife came over, grabbed my arm, and pulled me behind the counter. I let her pull me behind the counter because I didn't know what else to do. She and her husband sat with me, comforting me and waiting until I calmed down. They handed off running the diner to other staff and didn't leave my side for a second. I was so grateful for their support, even though my breakdown was disrupting their work and the other customers. When they asked what happened, I could barely speak from the flood of emotions, so I just said briefly that I'd fought with my parents and they'd left without paying for their order. They could tell it was something much bigger, but they didn't push me. Then the owner said they'd pack up all the food they'd made and that I didn't need to pay for it. Of course, I still plan to pay them back, but I'm truly thankful they didn't press me about it right then. Even more, they called me a cab back to the dorm and covered the fare. Honestly, it's only because of the kindness and support of the people around me that I haven't completely lost my mind. As soon as I got back to the dorm, I called my best friend and asked her to help me find a lawyer ASAP. I explained what happened that day, and I was scared, since my parents weren't afraid to show up at my college to harass me. Who knows what else they might pull? I've already refused to help them, they've got nothing left to lose, and now they might push even harder. I needed to do something to stop it. When I told my friend what went down, she immediately said she'd come over with her dad and their family lawyer. She assured me I had nothing to worry about, and now I can finally breathe a little, knowing they've got my back. I feel awful guilt for bothering her and her dad so often, but I don't have anyone else to turn to. I'm so lucky to have met such incredible people who are willing to do for me what my own father never would. I'm looking forward to tomorrow because I know being with my friend will finally let me relax. We've been friends since kindergarten. She knows me better than anyone and gets how much my anxiety eats at me. She always does everything she can to calm me down. She's like my living anti-anxiety pill, and I love her more than anyone. Her dad too, he's the best example of what a parent should be. Honestly, they're closer to me than my own family ever was. Even the diner owners, who've only known me for a year, have shown me more kindness than my parents or sister ever did. I hate my family. I genuinely regret being born into it. They're heartless people who'll make anyone miserable just to keep themselves comfortable. And if I'm honest, I want them to suffer. Karma's finally catching up to them, and I wish them nothing but the worst. Music. Lately, I've been busy with work and a ton of other stuff, so I haven't been around here. But I want to thank everyone again for the kind words. I'm feeling a lot better now and have finally started seeing a therapist to sort through my emotions. I've realized what I've been through isn't normal. Even if I've dealt with it my whole life, that doesn't make it okay. I was also really stressed about my future, feeling like if things kept going this way, I'd eventually just collapse under the pressure. My best friend and her dad insisted I see a therapist, and I'm grateful to them for that. They also introduced me to their lawyer when they came to see me 3 weeks ago. In the next few days, we're filing for a restraining order against my parents. Moving forward, I want to cut all legal ties with them completely. When my friend and her dad came to see me the day after my parents tried to pressure me, I was a wreck, emotionally destroyed, to put it mildly. But their support helped me so much. Her dad told me I didn't need to worry as long as they were around and even called me his daughter. My friend's mom passed away when she was really young, and her dad said that if his daughter had a sister, he'd want her to be like me. Those words touched me to my core and helped me deal with the guilt I'd been carrying. They assured me I'm not a burden to them, never have been, and that they're happy to help. I talked to their lawyer, and my friend stayed with me for a few days. We had an amazing time together. She did everything she could to lift my spirits, and for those few days, I could actually forget about my family. She's the one who pushed me to seriously look for a therapist and basically forced me to book my first session. Since then, I've been going to therapy twice a week. I've still got a long road ahead to fully heal, but at least I've taken the first step. My family hasn't tried to contact me again since then, but I'm still filing for the restraining order to protect myself. I don't trust them and I don't feel safe. Right now, I can only say one thing. I'm beyond grateful for the people in my life, and I hope things will finally start to get better from here.